All right, welcome. Here where we left off is we have the monsters that are going right and left, and we also have the monsters that go up and down, but now we want to add a monster to go in all directions. This monster is kind of interesting in that we're going to actually provide 4 different sprites for this monster. We happen to have a spider sprite in our sprite collection where it has the animation going in 4 different directions, so we're going to try that. So to add the sprites, we go up here to the sprites folder and we right click and we say create sprite. And we say SPR, and we're going to call this sprite spider. And let's just do down for now. Okay, this is going to be our monster, our spider that comes down the screen. The sprite is located out in the shared location, and here it is right now. You can see it animates quite nicely. Looks kind of creepy. On all our sprites in this game, you need to remember to shut off precise collision checking and also set the bounding box to full image. That makes it so that collisions work correctly. So we have the down sprite. Now let's create the other 3 sprites. I won't talk during this time, but I'll just do it quickly on the screen for you so you can see what's going on. All right, so now we have all 4 spider sprites lined up at the top. And what's weird about this is we're going to apply these 4 sprites to a single object, basically the spider object. And what we're going to do is as we change directions, we'll change the sprite to match it with the direction that we're going to be going. So here is where we create the spider object finally. Put this in. Spider, and we just want to say spider because this is one that's going to go in all directions. We'll start with the down sprite just for fun. Now inside the spider object, we want to do a few things. First of all, we want to get the spider moving in a specific direction. So in the creation event for the spider, we want to make sure that the spider will move in one of these 4 directions. Okay, so it's going to be able to move in all of those. We'll leave the speed at 4, just like everything else in the game. Next, we want to say what happens. Well, let me think here. We've created the sprite. Now we want to get the sprite moving in the correct direction. So if we go to the step event. Now remember, a step event happens every frame. What we want to do is make sure that the animation is going in the right direction. So we have to ask ourselves a question. We go to the Control tab, and we're trying to figure out which direction we're going. Now, direction is set up such that it's in degrees. So if we say direction, now 0 degrees is straight to the right. So if the variable direction is equal to 0, what we want to do is we want to show the sprite for the right moving spider. So we go to the main 1 tab and pull on change sprite. We're going to choose our right sprite. That's this one, the spider right. We're going to set the subimage to -1, and we'll leave the speed at 1. Now we're going to have to do this for all the other 3 directions. So I'm going to quickly do that. And you can watch on screen. Now straight up is 90 degrees, so we use 90 as our direction. And if it says 90, we know we're going up. So we're going to change the sprite then to our up sprite, which is here. We're going to set the subimage to -1 and just go with the default. So there's 2 of the directions. We'll do 2 more. Again, the variable we're testing is direction. And this time, if we want to go left, that's 180 degrees. And then if that's true, then we're going to change the sprite so that the spider is moving to the left. Again, remember to set the subimage to -1. Finally, we grab the last time we're going to check the direction. Down is 270 degrees. And then we set the sprite here to the down sprite. Subimage to -1. Okay, so that looks pretty good. What I'd like to do is just try to see what happens when we put a spider in the room. Now this background is kind of dark, especially for the ghost. So I'm thinking I might change the background color. You can do that right here, just load a different background. I'm going to go with the lighter one. Sand looks pretty good. And that's all we have to change. If you go back to our room, you see the color change. Now the diamonds are getting kind of washed out, so I'm going to use a different sprite for the diamonds. So they have all these gems in here. I can find them quickly. Yeah, so here's gem. I want something kind of darker. So maybe this red, they're rubies or something. Go with that. Shut off precise collision checking, full image. Now when we look to our room, all our diamonds have turned into rubies, which is what we wanted. Should make it easy to see where the diamonds are. Okay, so back to adding a spider to our room. You click on the Objects tab, you go to the room, click on Objects. Here's the Objects tab, and we choose Spider. And we're just going to put a spider. We'll get the spider to kind of move around. Why don't we put a spider maybe right here, just to see what happens. Okay, so there's our spider. It's going to move actually in one of 4 directions, so maybe we try it here so we can move in all 4 directions starting there. And each time we start the game, it's going to hopefully start moving in one of those 4 directions. So let's give it a try. Okay, so there's our spider moving up, and it goes right off screen. And the reason it does that is because we didn't put in a collision event with the wall. The collision event, however, is where it gets kind of difficult. And so I'm going to go through this step by step so that we can all get it right. Now the way this works is if you have a spider or anything, here in this case the spider, if the spider, for instance, let me just see if I can find a part that would do that. Say the spider is going down a long hallway like this. Let me just add a wall there for now. Okay, so here's our spider. We're going to put our spider, imagine our spider going to the right. And again, I guess I missed the wall, so I'm going to put a wall right here. Okay, and suppose the spider is moving this way. What we want to do is we want to have the spider, if it hits a wall, we want the spider to turn left and then check to see if there's a wall there. If there's a wall there as well, you want to have the spider turn around 180 degrees and check the other wall or the other side to see if there's a wall there. If there is, then we want the spider to turn right 90 degrees and then come back down the hallway. Now, if either one of these walls is open, say this one is closed but this one is open, it's going to try to turn left. It can't, so it's going to turn around and say, oh, wow, I can go this way. Okay, so we have to handle all conditions where we know there's always going to be a wall here, but we don't know if there's going to be a wall to the left or a wall to the right, or if they're both going to be there. And so we have to put a little bit of artificial intelligence into our spider to help it figure out what's going on. So let's do that now. We're going back then to the spider object. And now we're going to add a new event, and this is going to be the collision event with the wall. What's going to happen when the spider collides with the wall? Well, when we collide with the wall, we know we can't go forward anymore because, well, we just collided with the wall. So what we want to do is we're going to make the spider turn to the left. The way we do that is we, instead of using this, which is move fixed, we want to use this one, move free, drag that on, and then what you want to figure out is what direction do I want to go. Now we want this to work regardless of the original direction of the spider. So what we do is we make it relative to the direction it's already going. So we say direction, and since we want to turn left, we want to add 90 degrees to the direction regardless of whatever direction the spider is moving. We're going to use the same speed, okay? And we're not going to click relative. Okay? So that will turn the spider to the left. Now, before we can proceed left, we have to double check that there isn't a wall there. So here, we want to do this one here, check object. So the object we're looking for is the wall. And since we don't know which direction we're going, we don't know which way to look, but there's two variables that can help us out here. If we have a horizontal speed, h speed will be set to either 4 or negative 4. If it's moving vertically, then h speed will be 0, so it won't factor in. But what this means is if I'm moving left or right, the h speed, if it's negative 4, we know that we're moving left. And if it's positive 4, then we know we're moving right. Same thing with vertical speed. We say v speed here. Okay. If it's negative, we're going up. If it's positive, we're going down. We want to make it relative to our current position, which is the spider's position. And we want to invert the question to say if there's not a wall there. If there's not a wall there, well, we've already turned right here. We might as well just keep going. So in this case, if there's not a wall there, then we're just going to exit and allow it to keep going after it had turned left. But if there is a wall to the left, so we look back at our room here. Here's our room. So here's our spider. We've hit the end of the hallway. Now we turn left and, oh man, there's a wall in the way. So now we have to check the right direction. But to do that, we're already facing this way. We need to turn around 180 degrees. So we go back to our spider then, and we do the same thing. Similar things. Get move free, but this time we're going to say direction plus 180. This is the same as saying direction minus 180. You end up in the same direction, but you can either use plus or minus, that's fine. The speed will keep it 4, but this will turn us completely around. And then we do the same thing. We check to see if there's a wall there. Okay? So we put that after that. Again, that's the same as it was before. So if there's not a wall there, well, we've already turned around, so we might as well just keep going that direction. So if I can find it, we can just exit the event. Again, it's the same pattern. These three and then these three. But say we have a situation like we have here where the spider hits the end of the room, turns left, there's a wall in the way, turns around, this wall's in the way. Well, the spider says, well, I know I got here some way, so I'm just going to go back the way I came. So that means that right now the spider is pointed down, and we want it to turn 90 degrees to the right to go back the way they came, or to go back the way it came. So let's add that to our spider. Now we know there isn't a wall there because that's where we came from, so we know there's nothing in the way. So we don't have to ask the question if there's a wall there because we already know the answer to that question. All we have to do is make the spider turn. And so again, we say direction, but this time we want to turn right, so we subtract 90 degrees from the direction. And again, keep the speed at 4. Now, let's watch the behavior of our spider and see what happens when we run it. Let's just go and look at the room real quick to see what might happen. If it goes this way, it will turn left and then back up again and get caught in a loop. So I'm going to put another wall here just to show you the situation where it's blocked on all sides. We'll give that a try. So the only way the spider can move is to the right. Hopefully we'll have the sprites going the right way as well. Okay, there's the spider, turns around, comes the other way. No, it's because I'm getting killed. So let me move out of the way. So we watch our spider. It's going back and forth like it should. Okay. Now say we get rid of some of our walls here. So this one we put in and this one. And we'll watch the behavior of our spider. Say, yeah, let's put our spider perhaps here where we had it before. We'll select the spider from the menu, and it can go one of 4 directions. And give a little bit of variability to our game. Okay, there's the spider. It gets caught in a loop. Get out of the way here. Spider moved a different direction this time. Caught in that loop again. So let's see what happens now. Spider goes the other way, hits the wall. Hits the wall, turns around. Okay. So each time you run the game, the spider's going to behave a little differently, but it's still following the algorithm. You see the spider hits the wall. If there's nothing to the left, it turns left. And in this case, there isn't. Turns left, and we see the spider looping. Okay? And that's really what you want to see. See if we can get a different direction here. Yeah, so now it's crawling the other way. Goes left. Back to where we were at before. Striking out here, let's see. There we go. So now it's over here. Can't go left. Can right there. So you can see the spider kind of thinking as it goes along. All right. I guess that's it on the spider monster that goes in all directions.